Let's have a look at the core values and some of the key principles of Kanban. What separates Kanban from the rest of the other agile methods? So again, like typical agile methodology, where you talk about three pillars of agile methods, right? So it doesn't matter whether you're talking Kanban, Scrum, Lean, DDD, FDD, MDD, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is all of these agile methods. When you say agile, they need to have transparency, they need to have the inspection, and they need to have adaptation. These are the three pillars, foundation pillars of any agile methodology, which means that you need to be transparent. And with Kanban, it is very, very, very fundamental, because with flow, you're trying to be transparent, not just to your team, but also to your customers and users and stakeholders with the Kanban board. And that's why the Kanban board is really called the visual information radiator. Just like how you radiate in your houses, you've got radiators to generate heat, right? So we've got radiators in my room, for example, running now to give me heat into the room, right? So that's radiator. But then if you really want to radiate the information on a continual basis visually, you need to use Kanban, because Kanban is beautifully constructed tool that would really fit in to deliver that kind of information continuously. So you don't have to call somebody, ask, send 10 emails, where are we, what is the status? You don't have to do that anymore in Agile, because everything is up there, either in the walls or in the boards in the form of these whiteboards, or in the form of the electronic Kanban boards like Trello, Jira. All of these follow transparency as a thing, because they're all using the Kanban boards with these structures. How many tickets are in the analysis stage? How many tickets are in the development? How many tickets are in design? How many are developed? How many are deployed on the live server? With one look, you can quickly, really quickly, clearly see where we are. You don't have to, do a lot of rework. You don't have to really be a genius to understand that with Kanban. Very, very, very powerful. And then it also brings in the aspect of balance of how you try and structure this work. It's not about, you're not trying to do so much work in the to do that you forget the done. So it's all about how you put a bit of balance in terms of, there is some work in the to do, there's some work in the doing, there's some work in the done. So that's where you're trying to restrict the too much of traffic going everywhere. And then obviously collaboration, very, very powerful collaborative tool. Everybody can do it for themselves. So in the team does it in the Scrum, for example. The team does it. It's not the manager. It's not the Scrum Master who updates the Kanban boards, because the team is working on the tickets. The team is working on the stories and on the real work, whatever work they're doing, the development work, maintenance work, or production work, whatever it is. They are the people who best know how much work has been done, how much work is still to be done, and how much work is not started yet, right? So they're the best people to actually update the tickets and update the board. So in Scrum or in SAFe or in any of these DSDM or any of these agile methods, it's the way it gets structured, the work and how it gets used is beautifully done through Kanban. Very, very powerful again. And needless to say, we discussed this, flow is the very heart of Kanban. It's the centerpiece of all of the aspects that we discussed, and it's going to be really so, we're going to discuss that in depth in the next session, where flow would actually kind of come out and how it would really make it clear visually as to what is really happening, how you can have a better control on that, better planning. And then leadership, obviously leadership is very, very essential, because you can't be a leader unless you know what is happening. If you do not know, if you have to ask somebody to tell me what is the status, that means that you're not having a better control. Whereas with Kanban, the Kanban boards and all these things that we have discussed, it's clear. Anybody with one look, they can pretty much have a clear idea of what is happening, what's going to happen, and how much has been done, right? So that's the beauty of this. Very simple technique, very simple board, but it has so much of practicality. And then customer focus, obviously, yeah, you're really, it's not just about technology, it's not about this, it's about the work to be done. So your work, you're not talking about, oh, I need to create a table, I need to have 5 fields to it. you're not really talking about all those things. What is important to the customer is basically this. For example, even if it's a technical work, you're not really giving too much detail into that, where you get lost with the detailing. You need to actually go 30,000, dig yourself the 30,000 valley and abyss, and then go into that. No, you really are talking about information which makes sense looking at it. So your the item, the work item, or the post-it note, or the line, the item that you put on the board is very clear, simple, and just talks about the task. It doesn't talk about extraneous information which is not useful at all. So that's the again very important for us to understand, because you can't just put in loads and loads of information, put thousands of tickets up there. Nobody's going to benefit. What is important is just use just enough information, is what we call just enough information, just enough detail, just enough kind of sharing is enough for us to kind of manage and plan and control this process. It helps with better understanding, and you've got an agreement between the stakeholders. You can negotiate better, and you also have a respect. Again, respect comes from the transparency, as we discussed earlier as well. So mutual respect, again, huge, because you're not really trying to put down anybody. Everybody is doing it. Everybody's trying to own the work. Everybody's trying to demonstrate the progress of the work